We just discovered that electric car sales in Germany are up 64% last month versus the same month last year. However, it's not just Germany where electric car sales are exploding. The media don't seem to be mentioning this at all, but in France, exactly the same thing is happening. It's happening quick. And many legacy automotive companies will be left behind. They are being left behind. Who are the winners in France? Who are basically the future car companies of Europe? Well, let's have a look. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. It's great to see you. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Sam Evans. I'm the Electric Viking. Just want to say a big thank you to all of our Patreon supporters, YouTube members as well. Now, if you'd like to support the channel, that'd be awesome, actually. I'll put a link in the description below. New car registrations in France increased by 11% versus the same month last year. However, some really interesting trends going on. Keep in mind, France, Germany, and the UK, these are the three biggest car markets in Europe. And in Germany, of course, Tesla are still number one in electric car sales, just in front of Volkswagen. However, in the UK and France, Tesla are a long way ahead still. In fact, plug-in electric car sales have outpaced the general market and reached a new record. And primarily the key reason to that is the world's best-selling electric car. According to French newspapers, last month, 51,215 new plug-in electric cars were registered in France. That's an increase versus last year of an incredible 55% if you combine the increase in light commercial electric car sales with passenger car electric car sales, around 55.6% actually to be precise. So EV sales are actually this year exploding. I don't know why no one's really talking about this, because it's a huge disruption. And when you look at the top 10 best-selling EVs in most of these European countries, it's rare. It's very rare that you see companies like Honda, Toyota, General Motors, Ford, any of them. It's other companies that are obviously disrupting the market. Now, the interesting thing is that unlike most other European countries, plug-in hybrids haven't really gone down in France. A lot of people are still buying plug-in hybrids. And one of the key reasons for that is because French automakers, they make plug-in hybrids, and the French are very patriotic about their own car brands. However, passenger EV sales increased by 52% to 33,280 for 17.4% of the market. Light commercial EVs, though, they blew up by 276%. In fact, now the light commercial market, 10% of all cars, all light commercials sold are fully electric. That shows you this is not just passenger cars. It's actually hitting other segments as well. It's going to squeeze automakers in ways that they probably haven't seen coming. So far this year, Inside EV says that more than 230,000 new plug-in electric vehicles were registered in France, including over 215,000 passenger plug-in cars. That gives them a market share of nearly 25%. Speaking of strictly electric passenger vehicles, 137,920 have been sold, giving them 48% rise over last year. So for the first 6 months of this year, EV sales have increased by 50% in France. That's massive. They now have 16% market share. If this continues to happen, we only need this to happen about 3 more times before EVs make up the dominant percentage of the French car market. The same thing applies to Germany. A higher percentage of EVs of cars sold in Germany are electric. This only needs to happen even less times in Germany before we're seeing a market that has hit the tipping point. The tipping point is that point in which, well, remember when we used to have those crappy old Nokia phones and those Blackberries and they had all the buttons all over, and all of a sudden, didn't take that long before no one was buying those anymore. Even though we don't realize it, the same thing is definitely happening with electric cars, especially in Europe. What about the models? Which models are selling the best? In June, Tesla was first and second, which I am still a little bit surprised so many people are buying the Tesla Model 3 considering a new model is imminent, which will be a significant upgrade versus the previous model. But it's really good to see Tesla in first and second place. The reason being, they make more EVs. The more EVs that Tesla sells, the higher percentage of the market that is fully electric. I mean, put it this way. If Tesla wasn't selling cars in France, EV sales would be probably 60% lower, 50 or 60% lower. There's that much of an impact happening here. Tesla Model Y was first with 4,335 deliveries. The Model 3 was second with 3,966. The third most popular electric car in France was the Fiat 500 electric with 2,781 sales. First half of this year, Model Y is in first place with 17,741 deliveries. Dacia Spring is second. The Dacia Spring, by the way, is made in China, but it's obviously pitched as a European car. So, people just see it as being a Dacia, which is fine. It had 15,083 sales, not far behind the Tesla Model Y. Now, the Dacia Spring is the most affordable, the cheapest electric car, the cheapest mass-produced electric car that you can buy in Europe. It's very, very affordable. Fiat 500 is still in third place with 12,285 deliveries. And that gives us our top three. Of course, we've got Peugeot, though, fourth with the E208 with 12,000 deliveries, meaning that Peugeot are having a surprisingly good year. In fact, French brands are doing really, really well in the French EV market. So I've got to commend them for that. It's pretty impressive what they're doing. MG also had a really good result. MG had the fourth best-selling car in France with 2,500 deliveries last month. One interesting thing here, though, is commercial light-duty electric vehicles. If you have a look at the top 10 bestsellers, you've got Renault, Ford, Peugeot, Citroën, Renault, Citroën, and Goupil, which I've actually never heard of. Renault and Peugeot are doing quite well in increasing their sales in the commercial sector. They're focusing on that, and people are buying them. Those commercial vehicle sales are skyrocketing because a lot of people who have a business realize that it's so much cheaper to own and operate an electric vehicle. The percentage of cars sold in France that are fully electric continues to rise at a really rapid pace, both in France and in Germany. If you want to see my German video with the winners and losers for the month of June in Germany, I'll put a link in the description below. Thank you for watching.